My name is Zait, Nikon Zait. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, and today I am overwhelmed by joy because last week we got this brand new Nikon Z8 and Leica Q3 announced and released, and so those will be very suitable EDCs and great successors to my Leica Q2, and I'm considering them both because I know that since when the Nikon Z8 came out, I have never seen that many pictures of birds, squirrels, any kind of wildlife. You guys have been very active out there chasing wildlife with your long lenses, 200mm, 400mm, 600mm, whatever, and with this impressive burst rate and AF tracking, you are absolutely right to use it for wildlife, for weddings, for sports photography, but in my humble opinion, it would also be a great EDC. So what is an EDC? It's a camera that is always with you, that you always wear, that you take with yourself when you go out in the morning, and you're always carrying it. And in order to do so, it doesn't have to be big and bulky, right? It needs to be pocketable and lightweight, because when it happens that you meet Grogu on the street, you have your camera with you and you don't miss the shot. This is the long story short. So Nikon Z8, how can we possibly consider it an EDC? Now, myself, I have big hands, so when I was using my Nikon D750, I had to add the vertical grip at the bottom, otherwise I was just holding my camera with 3 fingers and I had these two loose, and it was kinda weird. And so in order to have a proper grip on my hand, I needed to add the vertical grip down there. Now, the Nikon Z8 is 15% smaller compared to the Nikon D850 that we all loved and appreciated back then, but it was a DSLR, so now mirrorless cameras are smaller, but it's not as small as the Nikon Z6 and Z7 that I never considered because they are like a gimmicky toy size for me, so it's way too small. So same thing goes for the Sony A7R III, that I know it was a very capable camera when it was released, and also the new mirrorless. This is a new generation of cameras that I will have to learn how to use because I don't want to embarrass myself not being able to track a subject, because the AF tracking in the Sony and in the Canon and in the Nikon and in the Fuji and in all the brands right now, it's so technologically advanced compared to what I am used to that I will have to learn taking the best out of it. So with the Nikon Z8, I might eventually be able to use the same 3D tracking that I had in my Nikon D750 and that I loved that much. And in addition to that, as an EDC, if you want, you can eventually record videos of anything that is happening around your good self in the city. If you want, you can have 4K video, 8K video. You have the IBIS, so internal stabilization. You have the IBIS in body compared to the OIS that I have right now in my Leica Q2. And so when you have IBIS and you match it with the lens with OIS, then you have like 6 f-stop stabilization and you don't need to use a gimbal, which I don't own because I don't like. But in order to be considered as a proper EDC, a camera doesn't have to be that big and bulky. And so if you are purchasing the kit lens, which is the 24-120, which I had in the F-mount version and I took with me in Tibet and on the Himalayas, and I got impressive results out of it, then it was big and bulky, right? But in order to be an EDC, you need to go for a compact lens. So what lenses are out there? And I'm considering only the Z-mount Nikon lenses, because if we start the discussion considering all the F-mount or all the other brands with adapters, it will be an unlimited discussion. It will take hours. So considering the Z-mount Nikon glasses, what would I love to have on my EDC? Well, first choice would be quite simple, because there's this 28mm f2.8. So now I'm very used to 28mm because I'm using the Leica Q2 for the last 3 years. But I'm also nowadays using the Pixie camera with the 35mm wide lens matched with an APS-C sensor. It gave me like 52.5mm, and so I might eventually go for the 40mm f2 Nikon Z-mount glass. That would be a great choice for you guys if you want to use this camera as an EDC, as I will do, because I don't do weddings anymore. I had my fair share and I'm also annoyed right now, and I never did sports, and I am keeping wildlife shooting for my retirement, when I will have more time to travel and to chase animals. And so for now, I really need this EDC for my everyday shooting, and when I'm having street photography sessions out there, I go downtown, it needs to be pocketable, it needs to be lightweight, I need to have 1-2 spare batteries, 1-2 spare SD cards to record that, and the Nikon Z8 would be my approach to the new millennia, because with the Leica Q2 right now, I still had this old approach to photography. I have been shooting photography for decades right now, and so at a certain point it comes in automatic. You don't even think anymore about what f-stop or what ISO you need to use, because it's like you don't think about what you are doing when you have to breathe, right? You just do it. And so with photography it's the same thing, despite I will have to learn to use the new AF tracking and the new capabilities that this whole new generation of mirrorless cameras are granting us. So with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the new videos to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye bye.